Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to test all of my vintage lenses and make some general observations. I shot the test footage with the Cinelike V picture profile to get a more vibrant look. I normally use Cinelike T for the headshots and Cinelike V for outdoor tests and Vlog for short films. Although I did the test shoot on a cloudy day and in the shade, I still had to use my NG filter to shoot wide open with the vintage lenses. I've mentioned in some of my earlier videos the cinematic look of the Super Takumar lens, especially because of its dreamy bokeh. This lens is good for super close-ups, medium close-ups and medium shots, but for a wide-angle shot, if you want to capture more of the landscape or the background, the field of view is too narrow. It is good for portrait shots as it can be quite flattering, and with the right colors it gives a bit of a nostalgic look. The only thing is that it contains thorium, a radioactive element, but using the lens under normal conditions does not pose a huge threat, but it can make the image warmer as the glass has a yellowish tint. The image has good contrast straight out of the camera, and for personal photos or videos, some basic editing is enough that can be done on the phone with an app. But for a professional polished look, a color-graded version is the best option. The 58mm Helios lacks a bit of contrast straight out of camera. I think it is a good lens for super close-ups or portrait shots as it can be quite flattering, and also it works for intense scenes because it lets the facial expression shine. The swirly effect is only visible under certain lighting conditions, and you need this repetitive pattern in the background. And I think Cinelike V is the best option because it already adds that contrast in the image, and after with color grading you can enhance it. For example, for a sample footage I chose a warm and vintage look. The 35mm Carl Zeiss Jena Flektogon lens is well known since it is quite sharp and modern. To me it can be a bit clinically sharp for a cinematic look, very similar to a moral lens. Its center sharpness is digitally crisp. It has good micro contrast which gives images a 3D pop and a punchy look and makes textures look more detailed. The aperture ring of this lens is not very smooth. You need to press it down to move it, so it can be a bit uncomfortable. This lens works for different shots, especially medium wide or medium shots or medium close-ups, and it is generally considered a versatile lens for different types of photography and filming. Pentacon 29mm works for a wide angle and medium shot or medium close-up, and it can also focus closely like the Carl Zeiss Jena Flektogon, so it is a very versatile lens, as you can use it for street and flower photography, portraits and cinematic shots. The bokeh and the image look a bit similar to Helios 40-42 lens, although I prefer the Pentacon lens for a wider field of view. The Soligor 21mm lens did not inspire me so much today as it was getting quite chilly outside, and I could not show all of its characteristics such as the interesting circular flares or the slight vignetting that occurs sometimes. But since it gives a very wide look, it works for street photography, but also for cinematic medium shots that need a surreal feel. Since I have already gotten used to working with a manual focus and vintage lenses, I will most likely continue to use them also in the future, especially for my short films, and I will probably look for new vintage lenses that can create some other cool effects. And so far I am happy with the investment because I think first of all they're cheaper than the moral lenses, and they're very durable. I really like the soft and aesthetic look that they give. Check out my other videos on vintage lenses and filmmaking with Lumix, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content.